Hello, everybody. Chicago started this game scoring at will. Veronica Burton was getting steamed, and the game plan was clearly not working. What's Coach Nakase going to do about it?
Yeah, first quarter wasn't great, but I think it was partly our game plan was not as successful at the beginning, so we just adjusted right away. So I think, I'll take ownership on that. The game plan probably wasn't correct. They were able to get downhill way too quickly, and so we made the adjustments right away. So the response was really, really good.
What was the adjustment?
I'm telling you, you're crazy. You can see it just watch the film.
So let's look at the video. The most fundamental play in basketball is called the pick and roll. Here's an example. Here's the ball being defended by Gabby Williams. This large person is going to stand in Gabby Williams' way. That's called a screen or a pick. That's going to allow the ball to get a little bit of separation from her defender. Once the player sets the pick, she's going to run towards the basket, and that's called a roll. So there's the pick and roll. This play is so fundamental that every defensive scheme has to have a plan about how you're going to guard the pick and roll. And from the very first play of the game, Chicago can tell three things about the coverage. The first choice is you're the defender and there's this big human in front of you. You have to decide whether to go this way or that way. Going right through the middle is against the laws of basketball and the laws of physics. If you go on the side closer to the basket, it's called going under. And if you go on the side farther from the basket, it's called going over. And that's because in basketball land, down always means towards the basket. So every kind of term that involves down, like downhill, under, drop, deep, it always means closer to the basket. So the first thing you can tell is that Gabby Williams is going to go over the screen. So that covers what the ball defender is doing, but the screener also has a defender, Laeticia Amihere. You would think that she would be right next to her mark guarding her, but instead she's dropped all the way back here. This is a specific defense called drop. The idea is that if LA were up here, then the ball could probably go by her because the ball handler is smaller and faster. So instead we're going to have her drop back here to give LA more time to react to the driver and to contain the drive. So Chicago can tell the Valkyries are going over the screen, they're in drop, and this is a very deep drop. LA is standing in the paint. The third thing they can tell is what the next defender does. As the ball drives, Jacy is going to swipe at the ball as it goes by and then recover real fast to her mark. So Chicago says, I know your coverage now, so let's exploit it. Here's the pick. Ball takes the screen. Veronica is going to follow the player over the screen. LA is dropped back with a foot in the paint. Jacy's mark is trying to be as distracting as possible to try to keep Jacy's attention on her. So Jacy has to go a long way to swipe at this ball as it goes by. So that's not very helpful. LA takes one step in to try to harass this drive and then tries to recover to the roller. But now the roller is running downhill with all the momentum, thumps into LA, and makes an easy layup. Why go away from something that's working? Here's the pick. Ball takes the screen. Veronica follows over the screen. LA is dropped pretty far back, almost standing in the paint. KT is the swiping help, but Chicago helpfully put her mark way in the corner. So now Veronica's trailing. LA dropped back in the paint. That leaves lots of space here for Vandersloot to just pull up and hit a completely open elbow jumper. Look at the body language of Veronica Burton. They've been roasted multiple times in a row the same way, and she turns, looks directly at her coaches. Hey, what do you want me to do? All right, next play, now for something completely the same. Screen, ball drive, Veronica going over the screen, LA drop to the paint. Gabby Williams here is in really good position to swipe at the ball as it goes by. And Chicago tries to exploit this by having Gabby's mark cut right to the basket, which makes Gabby suddenly have to peel off. If she stayed around to help, her mark is going to have an open corner three, so Gabby just has to follow. Another basket, and Veronica can almost see the steam coming out of her ears. She turns again to stare at the coaches and gives another frustrated shrug. Screen, ball drive, LA dropped in the paint, Jacy following over the screen. And that means there's a whole bunch of space right here for Sheldon to take a completely open jumper. During the timeout, you can see Veronica Burton going over to have a little word with her coach, and you can tell she is not happy about the ball coverage. So the Valkyries put in a new scheme. How do we think Veronica is feeling about the game plan so far? Here comes a screen. So up till now, ball defender has been following over the screen, but this time Jacy goes under the screen, and that helps her stay closer and between her and the basket. Notice that Prechtel is still dropped back, but she's not standing in the paint, so that means it'll be easier to harass those pull-up jumpers. The third thing to notice is the next defender, Chen, she's not just going to swipe, she's going to fully commit to standing in the way and form a wall. So when Cloud turns the corner, she gets an unexpected faceful of Chen. Since Chen is walling up here, her mark slips away, so now Kaitlyn has to hustle back to recover, which she does. Sheldon tries to attack this closeout, but Chen does a great job of staying with her lateral movement and keeping her arm up, which makes Sheldon do a extremely awkward looking bailout of her jump shot. More pick and roll. Chen is not going to go over the screen. She's going to go under the screen. And Prechtel is not dropped back in the paint. She's about 6 feet away from the screener. And Gabby is fully committed to being part of this wall. And Gabby is so intimidating that Sheldon looks at her and says, I'm not going to mess with that. Let's go the other way. Chicago's not done trying the pick and roll. Another pick. Jacy goes under the screen. Prechtel is dropped, not a deep drop to the paint, but kind of a mid drop between a shallow drop and a deep drop. I don't mean like the kids would say that it's a mid drop, not very good. Kaitlyn eager to step over and be part of this wall, and Kaitlyn slows Carrington just enough for Jacy to catch up and whack the shot out of the sky. And Chicago tries one more time. Here's the pick. In the heat of the moment, Jacy does follow over the screen, but Prechtel is dropped back here in a mid drop. And Kayla Charles, she's aggressively walling up over here, leaving her mark to enjoy the summer breeze. Carrington kick out to Kyla's mark, but the pass is too droopy to punish the Valkyries. Instant dribble handoff, which has to be guarded the same as a pick and roll. A desperation jumper that is threatening to hit small children in the stands. So there you have it, folks. Hopefully you learned a little bit about pick and roll defense today and made some friends along the way. Let's wrap up with our traditional celebration analysis. This comes after a three-pointer. Chen is going for the left hand and right hand Fleming rule. Very scientific. Kaila's got some pretty sophisticated technology going on here. 2 fingers together and then her 3 other fingers like that. And then she's kind of pointing it like some kind of weapon. And then she's chopping down on her arm. I don't know exactly what the metaphor here, but it is kind of menacing and noble looking at the same time. I believe Tiffany is doing a super veteran move of holding up 3 fingers, the OK3, but using her 2 other fingers to hold her mouth guard, which I think we'll all agree is innovative and practical, though I do wonder how sanitary it is. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for free to the YouTube channel. It really helps these videos reach a wider audience. And if you didn't like the video, come back next time. I'll do better.